Hello, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Happy So What Day. I hope you're all having a great start to your week. What is everyone sewing? What are you working on? What holiday items are you still sewing? Still sewing. I mean, maybe you haven't even started yet, and that is okay. We've got time, right? December just started. So I don't mean to put any pressure on you here. Just, put in the chat what you're working on. If you have any questions, if you are running into any snags as you are making your holiday gift lists, things to sew, things to prepare, share it in the chat. We can all discuss together. That's what this So What is all about, is talking about what we're sewing and getting some tips and tricks and hints from our fellow sewing community. So let's see. Hi, Mary from Iowa. Hi, Rosina. Welcome, everybody. All right, Joyce is here from Ohio. I don't know about you all, but we are having the chilly weather. It is upon us here. So it really is starting to feel like the holidays, get a little snow in the air, and that's all it really takes. For those of you who live on the West Coast or Florida, places like that, you don't know what we're talking about. But maybe you have your holiday decor up and it's giving you all the feels that you need to start the holiday season off right. Let's see. So in a few short days, we will be leaving for our Craft Tours Christmas market trip. And last week I was talking about it a little bit, and I was looking for my cute little schedule of events booklet. Every time you join us for a Craft Tours tour with Sulky, they send you this goodie bag before you leave. And this year we got a really nice Craft Tours backpack, and of course our schedule of events, our lanyard with our name tag on it, all the things. So they really, really take care of us, and it just, really helps you prepare. This is my little book for our Germany and Austria tour. We will be leaving on, I guess it's Monday. I leave on Sunday because we all have to fly out of JFK. And so I go a day early. I don't want my flight to be delayed and things like this. So I'll be leaving on Sunday. And I will meet those of you who are joining for the tour. I'll meet you at JFK on Monday before we depart. But I just wanted to share with everyone this cute little booklet. So before we leave, what I like to do is I go through, I check out what we're doing every day, and I kind of plan my outfits. And that is really what helps me pack for the tour. So anyway, I don't know about you or how you like to plan for your travels. And, are you going somewhere this holiday season? Let us know in the comments. Let's see. And if you were not able to join us for this Christmas market tour this year, we have a number of travel opportunities for 2026 and beyond that you can check out on our Sulky Craft Tours page, which I linked to directly in the description of today's live stream. So you're not going to see the entire description of everything I'm talking about today because it's quite lengthy. We have a lot of things to go through this afternoon. So click on that little See More button. Click on that and the whole description will pop out for you. You'll find links to our Craft Tours page, links to join us for our New Year's Eve sew along, which I'll talk about in a minute, and then links for everything I'm talking about today, including our Haute Cocoa mystery box, which I'm going to get to in a moment as well. All right, so Greece is happening in 2026, end of May, early June. Beautiful time to go to Greece. We will be headed there, and you can still join us on that tour. I believe the registrations for this tour close in the end of January, so it really is time to think this tour over, check out the itinerary, and you can still join us and sign up through the end of January. And then all of our other tours that are up on the site right now have an early booking discount. So if you book now, let's say for Bali in July of 2026, you get a really hefty discount for, committing and registering early. So you can check that out as well. Along with Bali, we are headed back to Germany next year. So you have a whole year to plan now if you want to join us for a Christmas market tour in 2026. But this one's a little bit different from our Bavaria and Austria tour. We will be doing Germany, France, and Switzerland. So we will be checking out some different Christmas markets in other parts of the region, and it's going to be absolutely spectacular. All right, so you can join us for that next year. And then if you are really planning ahead, you can also join us for our Tuscany tour in 2027. So we will be headed back to Italy, where Sulky cotton thread is made and manufactured, where our threads are dyed, and you can join us in Tuscany at the Cinque Terre and in Florence, and just beautiful, beautiful tour. So you can check all of those out on the Craft Tours Sulky page that I linked to in the description of today's post. I briefly mentioned our New Year's Eve sew-along. You can also register for that simply by clicking the link in the description of today's post. Make sure you're registered early so you can get all of your goodies, and you'll get your checklist for the day of the event so you can plan and have all the things that you need. Like, I've heard from a number of people, they were so glad they got that checklist because you do need a snap setter in order to create your little key fob that comes with your event. This is the design that comes with the key fob, and I will teach you how to personalize it if you want to feature a different design on your key fob. But you do need a snap setter, an awl, something to poke the hole for this snap, things like that. So make sure you grab that checklist, print it out, make sure you have everything that you need for New Year's Eve so that we're not sewing along and you realize you don't have something that you need to complete one of the steps. So helpful notions, things like that are included. And if you chose to not get a kit for the sew along, that checklist is really imperative so that you have all of your fabrics and linings and zippers and all of the great hardware options and things like that. You will need to grab up all of those if you didn't get a kit for the event too. So make sure to register early. You'll get your Lamont bag pattern with purchase of the event. This is valued at $12.99. The event itself is $19.99, but you get over $20 in patterns and designs. So really, you're getting to watch this 4-hour live stream event with the designers of these designs and patterns right there at your disposal to ask your questions and all of those things. It's a super, super fun time. If you've never joined us for a New Year's Eve, definitely register for this one this year. All right, let's see. Along with that, you will also get in the hoop embroidery designs to create that key fob and the in the hoop mini zip pouch, which you can use for so many things. And just like the key fob, you can also personalize the zip pouch. It will come with adventure awaits on it, but I will also teach you how to substitute a design of your choice if you want to personalize it in a different way. You can also just omit the steps of the motif and have a totally plain mini zip pouch if that is more your style. All right, let's see. A number of people are saying, I got a kit. Leslie's going to be joining us. Let's see. The New Year's Eve kit that arrived was well worth the price. I happen to agree. And something to note. So today is the 2nd, right? December 2nd. Today's the last day that you can get your kit at a special price. And they did recommend over at Sally Tomato to purchase your kit by December 1st in order to make sure you have it in time. I'm sure if you buy it today, it will probably get there as well. I mean, it's got almost a month to arrive. So depending on where you live, where you're coming from, you should be able to grab up that special deal on the kit and still have all of your materials with ample time to pre-cut your pieces and all of those good things. All right, let's see. Heather says, I'm registered already, have received my kit. I got the Tula Pink one. You were one of the lucky ones because I know that Tula Pink kit went really, really fast. Let's see. I need this purse for my trip to Japan. It does make a really, really great travel companion. That's why it goes along with our theme of adventure awaits. You can wear this bag a number of different ways. The clip on the strap can either be on the left or the right bottom corner of the bag. So you can wear it comfortably on either side, switch it up. You can wear it in the front. Particularly like when I'm traveling, it's a busy area like these Christmas markets, and there's just tons of people around in some of these areas. I like to wear my bag on the front of me under my coat just to be on the safe side. And this is a really great bag for doing that. And it has kind of a secret pocket, zipper pocket on the underside or the back side. So the one that would be kind of facing your chest is where you can have, you know, all of your cash and cards and ID and things like that, so that it's really kept close to you and not exposed on the outside of the bag. So it really does make a great travel bag. All right, Penny's gonna make one for her granddaughter. Love that. Oh, lots of you got Tula Pink. That's because you're here on So What, and you got the first notice of our event, I'm sure, and you grabbed up that Tula Pink kit. All right, let's see. Yes, Marcia says, I ordered my kit. I hope I don't have to work that day. I know I can watch it later if I'm not able to join live. That's right. If you aren't able to join us live on New Year's Eve, or you have to leave early or join late, something like that, we record the event while it's happening. So when the event ends, that recording is available to everyone who has registered for the event. So you can go into the event page, watch it in its entirety, rewind and review. Maybe, you know, you stopped sewing along at some point because you fell a little bit behind. No problem. That is okay. Honestly, we don't really expect you to be able to keep up with us for the whole event. If you can, that's great. But if you can't, just stop sewing. If you fall behind, watch the rest of the event, ask your questions, and then you can come back after the event ends and rewind to those spots that you need to review. All right. Some of you still waiting for your kit, I'm sure. It's on the way, and if you've ordered it already, it is definitely going to arrive before the event. Colleen, hey, got her kit yesterday. Love that. Perfect. And yep, Jana says, love that we can access the video even a few months later. You can access the video as long as you have your account at sewingonline.sulky.com because it never expires. So if you think to yourself next year for Christmas, you want to make some Lamont bags for some people, head on over back to that event page, refresh your memory from that event. You can even download the pattern again if you misplaced it, don't know where you saved it on your computer, all of those things. So all right, it's a really, really great time. Let's see. So some of you said you're excited to hear about our mystery box. That's right. This mystery box went up for sale yesterday. We do have some left, but they go really, really fast. For only $49.99, you're getting over $90 in items from Sulky and more. That's right. This is one of our mega mystery boxes, and it really has this winter cozy up by the fire feel. And I hope you love the name, Haute Cocoa. I feel so French. Not really. I never took French, so I'm just pretending. But I know you're supposed to pronounce it like haute, right? Haute Cocoa. I don't know. Anyway, it's a play on words, obviously. So it's high fashion meets hot cocoa. So we're kind of somewhere in the middle, cozying up by the fire with our items inside. So this theme really indicates, I don't know, spoilers ahead, really indicates that you might be getting some fabrics that help you cozy up by the fire or cozy up for winter time. So I don't know, maybe some plush fabrics, maybe some faux something or other fabrics. I don't know. Some projects that are easy enough for a beginner, but there's also some challenges with this box. So I think veteran sewers will appreciate that as well. Learn some things while you're working your way through the projects that are featured in the box. Of course, you do not have to make the projects that come with the box, because with this box, let's see, you get a sewing pattern, you get actually 2 sewing patterns, and then you get 2 designs, okay? One is for machine embroidery and one is for hand embroidery. So if you don't have an embroidery machine, you will still be able to create everything in the box except for that machine embroidery design. But it's also available for you for handwork, should you choose to make both versions or one or the other. So I hope that's enough of a clue to get your, thinking cap on for the Haute Cocoa mystery box. And I was counting it earlier. I think you get 12 spools of thread in this box. I think so. I mean, I counted it earlier and I thought to myself, I don't need to write that down. I'm going to retain this information. And here we are now talking about it, and I'm going to just guess at 12. All right. So lots of thread. There's stabilizers inside, of course. And actually, one of the stabilizers is used for the sewing project because, I don't know if you know this, but stabilizers help a lot of our sewing. They're not just used for machine embroidery. So you'll learn all about that with the items in your box as well. And then we have a great gift inside of this box from Sulky. It's not a sewing notion at all, but I have a feeling you're all going to love it. So this is a really amazing box, available only while supplies last. It's only $49.99, and you get over $90 worth of stuff inside. Janet is asking, is there a color theme? Great question. So I'm going to give you a little hint here with this box and some of our others. So with the design that we create for these boxes, these themes that you see in this image that I'm showing you are probably going to show up in one way or another inside of your box. So whether it's color story, motif, texture, something like that, we always kind of theme our box, or excuse me, we create the graphics and all the imagery based on the theme of the box. So I hope that tells you what you need to know without me really spilling the beans. I know. I'm trying to keep the mystery alive, everybody. Also, something new in this mystery box. So in the past, we've had golden tickets go in our box, and they're actually printed in gold. So just like Willy Wonka, if you get a golden ticket, you get a shopping spree at sulky.com. Well, we're changing it up a little bit with this mystery box, and every single box is going to get a raffle ticket. So when you open up your box, keep that raffle ticket close by. Put a push pin in it, put it in your sewing room, something where you won't forget it. Jot down the number on your raffle ticket. You can even take a picture of it on your phone, and that way if you misplace your raffle ticket, you will be able to know if you are a winner. So with these raffle tickets, we are going to have, let me count them, 5 winners. All right. There will be 5 raffle ticket winners. and you could win up to a $150 shopping spree at sulky.com. That's right. So inside of your mystery box, you will find a raffle ticket that looks like this. It's going to have a number on it, and that is your raffle ticket number. There's some fine print details in there as well for you to check out. And let's see, when will we be choosing the winner? How will you know if you win? All of those things, right? So on January 6th, so after the holidays, we will be hosting a special So What that day, and I will be choosing the winners randomly using a random number generator, or maybe I will pick them out of a hat. I don't know. We'll see. I think it's written in the rules, so I better follow those. But at any rate, we are going to pick the winners live on So What that day on January 6th. And don't worry if you can't join on January 6th, or something comes up and you're not sure if you're a winner. We have assigned all of these numbers based on who's buying the boxes. All right. It's a very intricate procedure that we have implemented for this particular mystery box. So we will be able to notify the winners after January 6th when we have our special So What episode. But you can have your ticket in hand, watching live, and you will know if you are a winner right then and there as well. All right. Let's see. Question about the New Year's Eve kit from Noreen. She says, when I try to buy the bag kit, it says it's $59.99. So you do need a coupon code to get that special price. The coupon code, I believe, is NYE 2025. It should be written on the event page, or excuse me, on the offer page for the event. Or if you got a confirmation email, everyone should have gotten a confirmation email once you register for the event, and that information should be on there as well. But I do believe it's NYE 2025 is the coupon code, and it should be valid up to today. So you should be able to get the $10 off of that kit price. All right, let's see. Karen got her mystery box yesterday. Love that. Bravo, says Leslie. Marilyn would love a shopping spree. Perfect. Is someone saying that the box is sold out? I don't think this is. The box isn't sold out already, is it? The mystery box? Let's see. I will try to get to the bottom of this. Carla says the mystery boxes are such fun. Yes. Okay. So while we're working on that troubleshooting, I also have a giveaway for today's So What. For one lucky viewer who is watching, commenting, somehow engaging with the post, that's all you have to do to be automatically eligible to win today's gift from Sulky. One lucky viewer will randomly win our metallic thread assortment pack. This is our original metallic thread, and you'll see that it comes in lots of different shades and colors. And I'm going to be talking about a project using our metallic thread because, I mean, there's really no better time to pull out the metallics and all the shiny things than when we are sewing for the holidays, right? So this will be one lucky winner's special gift from Sulky today. And I might add that tomorrow our Merry Christmas sale begins, and our metallic threads will be 40% off tomorrow. Okay, so grab up some metallic threads. If today's project inspires you, you can even add them in your cart today, and then tomorrow they'll be 40% off. All right, so what I wanted to share with you today is a really great project that you can make rather quickly. Just in the time it takes for the design to stitch out, the whole project is complete. It is freestanding lace done with Sulky Original Metallic Thread. Are we loving this? The front looks just as pretty as the back. You can't even figure out what's the right and wrong side because we also have that same metallic thread in the bobbin. So I'm going to give you all the tips and tricks for how to create these beauties. This design is from Urban Threads. I linked directly to it in today's project description. And actually, if you're not seeing it there, head on over to the blog. Under featured products, it'll say full tutorial. You can click on that and get the entire written tutorial for how to create these beautiful freestanding lace tree ornaments. What I also love about this project, and on the Urban Threads website, so here's how I display mine, and I love to create multiples of these. They make wonderful gifts. They're super cute on a place setting or tucked into a napkin with your silverware. And then everybody at your holiday table gets to take home an ornament that you've made. I think that is so sweet and so special. They go home, they put it on their tree, they put it with their ornaments, and every year they can pull it out and remember that year. It's even so cute if you put a personalized ribbon on it. You can write, you know, from Ellen 2025, something like that, that makes the ornament even more special to pull out year over year. The other thing that I love about this, and I have to admit, I pulled this image off of the Urban Threads website because I love what they did here. They made this the adornment for a gift. So instead of using a bow that you might throw away after the holidays, or those expensive ribbons, you can use your little ornament as your gift bow, right? So you just thread some decorative twine or ribbon through it, even some like metallic elastic is really nice. It comes on little rolls. You can get those at Hobby Lobby in the ribbon area. Something that's small in diameter, thread it through the open freestanding lace and then put that around a gift box. I mean, are you in love? I just love this idea so much. I hate buying all those plastic ribbons and bows that end up in the trash can or the recycling if you're lucky enough to be able to recycle it. Let's see. Sorry, I got distracted. Someone was coming in saying, yes, there are mystery boxes available. So that is all good. Okay. Anyways, here is how we make freestanding lace using metallic thread. And a lot of the tips that I'm going to share with you today are pretty universal for using metallic thread, especially with machine embroidery. What makes metallic thread so difficult to sew sometimes is it has metal in it, right? So when we are sewing at these high speeds, especially with machine embroidery, it's actually creating some heat, right? It's creating friction and heat. So it can actually break over time when it contacts your needle because of that heat and that friction. Also, because of all the twists that are happening when it winds off of the spool, even if you can't see those, if they're not viewable from the naked eye, all those twists are adding up and creating all this tension in the thread. And then, of course, it's going to snap over time because it's just twisting, twisting, twisting. We don't want the twist. We don't want the heat. We want it to perform like regular thread, right? So what I mean by all the twists are typically on your machine, look at mine. So this is a spool pin, right? Mine are in a vertical orientation right now. I can also place them in horizontal orientations. But what I cannot do with this setup is place it at a horizontal orientation so that the spool is facing the thread path. All right. So right now what's happening is, even with my extender here, The thread is coming off the spool, twist, 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 twist. Now this helps that a little bit, this thread guide, because even when it's twisting and going up here, it's coming off of my thread guide pretty straight as it's heading through the needle path. But even better, if you can orient this in a horizontal position facing the needle rather than facing you. This is going to ensure that even if it's twisting, look how straight, it's really hard to see, even though I have black thread in the machine. It's coming off straight facing the needle path. So a little bit closer up, if I have a vertical spool pin orientation, my thread's going to wind off twist, twist, twist. Okay. If I have a horizontal spool orientation, twist, twist, twist on its way to the needle. But if I can place my spool horizontally this way, facing the needle path, it's coming off completely straight with no twists. So that's what we're looking to do here. Whether you have a spool pin adapter, or if you have a thread guide that you can position so that your spool is horizontal facing the needle, not horizontal facing you, horizontal facing the needle path or the thread path. That's what you want so that you eliminate all of those twists as it enters the needle. Okay. I did mention we are also using the metallic thread in the bobbin. So tips for that are, we only really want to fill the bobbin a little more than halfway is really the key. Also, we want to wind the bobbin at the slowest speed possible so that there's no stretch in the thread because it's going so fast in the bobbin. That's, that can actually create like puckers and more tension on the thread than we want. Other than that, it's pretty straightforward as far as just winding your bobbin and using the same thread in the bobbin. All right. And yes, someone just came in and said, oh my gosh, it breaks all the time. And that's why I don't like using metallic thread. So I would say the number one problem with the thread breakage with metallic thread are all of those twists. We don't even see how much those twists are affecting things because a lot of the times our machine's going so fast, even if we set it for the lowest speed possible, which is what we also want to do. The lower the speed, the less heat that's going to be produced by that thread and the greater success that you will have. Okay. Let's see, I'm just going to go through my tutorial and we will come up with some more tips along the way with my helpful photography. Okay. So the other thing we want to avoid is trying to stitch out multiples in one hooping. So I got this great idea. I was like, I'm going to make trees in all sizes. I'm going to group them together. I'm going to create little metallic tree vignette in my garland. Like, how cute. So I started overloading my largest hoop with a bunch of tree designs in different sizes. And then it occurred to me, and I'll show you this in a picture in a minute. When we are creating freestanding lace and we're using Sulky Ultra Solvy, which is really what we want to use for this. I tried using Fabra Solvy, but the Ultra Solvy is really what we want for these metallic trees. When we're using the Ultra Solvy and we are putting all these stitches in it, right? I mean, I don't remember the stitch count of this design, but it's a lot of thread, a lot of stitches, a lot of needle penetrations. When we're doing that, the stabilizer really has no choice but to kind of move up toward the perimeter of the design. I don't want to say pucker because it's not puckering, but it's kind of shrinking up along the outer edge of our freestanding lace. So what can happen then is when we go to stitch the subsequent design, the second or third or fourth, our stabilizer is already under a little bit of stress because it has gone to go and support that design. So now if we try to go stitch another one right next to it, what happens when the stabilizer wants to go over to that design? Our stabilizer becomes less stable and less supportive, which with each subsequent stitch out. So instead, I highly encourage you to do one stitch out at a time in the smallest hoop for that design size. I know that as sewers, we want to, streamline things. And if we're going to make 30 trees, we want to make it easier on ourselves in that regard. But quite honestly, you're going to have better luck and a better looking stitch out if you do one at a time using this metallic thread with the Ultra Solvy. And I will show you in a picture in a moment what that looks like. When all the stabilizer goes to support that one design, you're left with less support for the other ones. Okay, so we also, of course, need our metallic thread. I went with this beautiful gold metallic thread. And again, I'm using the original metallic thread. Original metallic thread is a round thread. So just like our rayon, polyester, cotton, those are all round threads. However, our hollow shimmer and our sliver metallics are flat threads. They are ribbon-like threads. So along with the twisting that you can get with this type of thread, or with all thread spools really, when a flat thread twists, you can kind of lose a little bit of that special effect because the twist is twisting that flat thread. Wish I had a piece of ribbon next to me to show you this rather than explain it. Let me just take a strip of fabric, or excuse me, a strip of paper to show you. Okay, you would think I would have scissors right next to me. All right, so let's say this cute little piece of paper is our strip or our ribbon-like thread, okay? Obviously, it's going to be much, much bigger so that you can actually see it. Okay, so we have a flat ribbon-like piece of thread. So if it's twisting off the machine, that ribbon's going to twist like this, and it's going to almost cause kinks in that hollow shimmer or sliver metallic thread. So if you are unable to have your spool oriented this way so that your flat thread remains flat, then I would not use the hollow shimmer or sliver in a freestanding lace design like this. You can probably get away with it, but what's going to happen is instead of this smooth tree, right, you're going to have these kinks and these twists. It's almost unavoidable. You can make it work, but it's much harder is basically what I'm getting at. Those are beautiful, beautiful threads though. So I encourage you to try it if you're up for the challenge and you've already made it work with an original metallic thread, a round metallic thread, then by all means try it with the beautiful hollow shimmer and sliver. These will be glistening with this holographic effect. I would, however, in the bobbin, I would use original metallic paired with the hollow shimmer. That way you're going to get just a little bit more balanced stitch out with those flat ribbon-like metallics. Okay. You can also use poly sparkle. I don't know if I saw somebody using that or asking about that, but you can use our 30 weight poly sparkle thread. In the bobbin, I would also use the 30 weight poly sparkle, but just know that these are very dense designs. Okay, so if you're using a heavier weight thread, which our metallics are more akin to a 40 weight thread, and the poly sparkle is a 30 weight thread, so a little bit thicker. Just know that you might have, it's going to look like an even denser design if you go up in thread weight. Okay, So someone asked, I think it was Betsy, someone said, what about the needle? Okay, so with the original hollow shimmer and sliver metallics, you need a metallic needle. On our website, they are organ needles, so they're called metal needles. And you want to use a size 90-14 with the original metallics, okay? So why do you need a metal needle? Well, metal needles are manufactured so that they deflect, I guess is the right word. They take the heat away from the thread when the thread's going through the needle. So as I mentioned, that those metallic threads can heat up, especially at these high speeds that we're sewing at. So to avoid that heat that can cause thread breakage, we're going to use a metal or metallic needle, size 90-14. Okay. So instead of having all those trees in one hooping, we're going to go with just one tree, and whatever size you go with the smallest hoop for that design size. Okay. And then as I mentioned too, we're going to slow the machine down. We're going to go all the way down as slow as it can go to our lowest speed limit. So that might be on your machine screen or a function that's right on your machine or both. So either way, locate that and go all the way down in speed. Okay, so to begin our stitch out, we're going to hoop one layer of Ultra Solvy stabilizer. Ultra Solvy is our thickest stabilizer in the Solvy family. We have regular Solvy, which is what we use as toppers. It has that film-like texture. Then we have Super Solvy, which is 2 times as thick as Solvy. And then we have Ultra Solvy, which is 4 times as thick as Solvy. Ultra Solvy is not something I would use as a topper. It's really something I would use for freestanding items. Stitch dense freestanding items, okay? So something like delicate freestanding earrings. I love using Fabri-Solvy for that. It performs really, really well and has a lot of integrity to it, and you can do multiple little delicate earring designs, things like that, jewelry on Fabri-Solvy. Ultra Solvy is what I prefer for these freestanding designs that have a high stitch count, or if I'm using something like metallic thread in both the top and the bobbin. The Ultra Solvy is really going to give those threads something to hold on to and create those stitch heavy designs. All right. Once we have our Ultra Solvy hooped, we're just going to place the hoop onto the machine and begin the stitch out. It is as easy as that. Once we've made all those machine sort of modifications, we're ready to go. So here is where you can start to see where that stabilizer has sort of drawn up to the edge of the design so that it's really supporting all of those threads. So if we were to have a secondary stitch out right next to this one, you can see how our stabilizer has been affected by the first stitch out. That's why we want to do one stitch out per hooping at a time. And here you can see it even a little bit better, how that stabilizer has kind of drawn up. It's also pushed out in some areas too, pushed away from the thread as well. But you'll see too, the Ultra Solvy doesn't get perforated by all of these stitch counts or by all of these needle penetrations. It really, really holds its own and gives you great stability throughout the stitch out. All right, so after our design is complete, we're going to trim our stabilizer a little bit beyond that outer perimeter stitching line. You don't have to worry about the interior of the lace. If anything is too delicate, we don't want to harm it in any way. So we're just going to trim the perimeter, and then we are going to rinse away all of the excess stabilizer. And here is also where you can really have fun with freestanding lace. You can leave a little bit of that stabilizer behind and you'll be able to feel it in your hands. Obviously, you want to get everything away from the perimeter and inside of all of the stitches, but you can kind of feel it in your hands if it's still a little bit almost like gummy. I hate to use that word, but I can't really think of another one. You can kind of feel if it's still within the thread itself. If you want to shape your lace, you can leave a little bit of that in, and then you can shape your lace around an object while it's drying. So for example, if you're making angel wings out of freestanding lace, oh my gosh, that would be so pretty in our iridescent original metallic. At any rate, if you're making something like that, you can shape your wings around like a can of tomatoes or something. And then as it's drying, it will take the shape of that. And another cool fact, if you've done this and it dries and you hate the way that it looks, you can just get it wet again and reshape it, okay? If something happens and you've rinsed away too much of the stabilizer in order to shape your lace, what you can do is take your excess stabilizer that you've trimmed away from the lace and you can dissolve it in a spray bottle of water and mist your lace and then reshape it again. So very cool stuff. You can do some really, really fun things with lace as well as the stabilizer. All right, so here I am. I just chose to dry my tree flat on a nice absorbent towel. And then once it's dry, you can add your ribbon, whether you like to put it on the top for an ornament or wrap it around your gift. You can make your choice at this time. I found a really pretty narrow velvet ribbon. You need a pretty narrow ribbon if you want to hang it from the top of this particular design. This I think is 1/8 inch ribbon, if I'm not mistaken, but it's a really pretty velvet textured ribbon that I just got on the spool, and you can create so many of these with one spool of ribbon. So I just joined my raw ends at the top and made one knot, and my ornament was complete. So I really love the look of this. I love the idea too of making these in multiple sizes and having like lots of trees on a garland or even lots of trees on your tree. And also maybe making them in different sizes for different family members. If you are going to have this at a place setting or tucked into a napkin or something like that, so you can give a gift along with your holiday dinner. Love the idea of using it as instead of a bow on your gift wrap. I just think that's brilliant. And depending on the box or the gift that you're giving, you can tie this to a gift bag. Or, you know, you can make a small one for little jewelry box, larger ones, you get the idea. All right, did I find the ribbon online or in a store? I actually bought this ribbon off Amazon on a big spool. I got a great deal on a lot of ribbon. However, I also was at Hobby Lobby the other day and their little ribbon spools, everything was 50% off and they had such cute varieties. Little, it almost looks like burlap ribbon with a little stitch down the center. I mean, so many cute options. Also, I did grab up some little individual jingle bells where they have the buttons and things. And I thought it would be so cute to hand sew some little jingle bell, accoutrements onto the tree. And then it would look like it is a decorated tree. And it would also make a little jingle sound. So I have yet to do that, but it's on my list. And you could sew these onto your tree using the same metallic thread and just tie your jingle bells on there. Or you could also use Sulky invisible thread to sew those onto your tree to just add some little cute little embellishments to it. Or maybe you find a little star button and you put it at the top where you've tied your ribbon. So cute. Love it. All right, let's see. Marilyn says, how many sizes does the tree come in? Oh, I've frozen on Facebook. You might want to just reload the page. I don't know what happened there. How many sizes? I think, so there's 3 sizes available, I believe. The smallest one is, maybe 3 inches. I'm just guessing. These are from Urban Threads. These are not Sulky designs, so you'll have to check that out. I did link directly to the design on our Sulky blog post, so you can go to get the full tutorial and go on over there and you can head on to the designs. So very, very cute. Ooh, Leslie says, what about hot crystals? Love it. Hot crystals would even add to the cute little metallic feel. And I just love a metallic ornament on a tree where you have lights on the tree and then the metallic kind of like flashes into the light. And then you have all of these, glitz and glam going on in your room where you have your tree. Just so, so cute. So, Maureen says, is the smallest tree suitable for earrings? I guess it depends on how large you like your earrings. I think the smallest size is 3 inches, so they would really be dangling. But you'll have to check that out. All right. Lynn says, thanks for making me want to try metallic thread again. I love that comment. So happy to hear it. And again, our metallic thread at sulky.com will be 40% off tomorrow. So make your list, check it twice, add them to the cart, and then 40% off tomorrow. You can grab that up. But also be sure to grab up your mystery box today because you never know when these are going to sell out. And once they're gone, they're gone. That is not the mystery box. That's our Tuscany tour. This is our mystery box. Haute Cocoa. You can join in on the fun of making some mystery projects, or you can go rogue and make your own thing with the items inside. I think there are 16 full-size products, 15, 19. Oh my gosh. I can't with the numbers. But you do get over $90 worth of goods for $49.99 with this mega mystery box. You will also get a raffle ticket inside, which you need to hold on to because on January 6th here on So What, we are going to pick 5 winners for the raffle, and you will win Sulky shopping sprees like no other. You could win up to $150 shopping spree just by getting a raffle ticket in your mystery box. So grab those up. I'm so excited to hear how you like the items inside. And it's so much fun. Get it? So much fun. I know, I'm super cheesy. All right, well, I appreciate your time today. I hope you learned something new about metallic threads. And I hope you head on over to our Craft Tours Sulky page and check out all of our wonderful destinations that we have coming up in 2026 and beyond. So you can start planning now, get on a payment plan, figure out all of your travels coming up. And I hope you can join us on one very, very soon. Yes, so next week I will be in Germany, hopefully at a wonderful Christmas market during our So What. So tune in and you might see some sneak peeks. We'll see if I can sync up our time zones. Not sure about that one. I can't make any promises, but for those of you joining me, I will see you on Monday at JFK. And for everyone else, I hope you have a great rest of your week. And go sew something fabulous and stay warm, everyone.